And welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I am Stacey Earlywine, and I am very sad. Today is our last Halloween
show.
show.
Yes, the whole month of October just poof gone, just like magic.
Why is it that your favorite months
go fast?
I don't know. Yeah, because January I do not like, and it's going to just creep by.
Yeah, do you know what? My favorite month is November, and I feel like it's the fastest month of the whole year.
I'm confused.
Why?
Because your favorite thing is Christmas.
I know, but my favorite month is November because here's the thing about Christmas. I love the build-up more than I love, I'm actually a little depressed at Christmas because it's over. You know, I try and depressed isn't really the right word because I'm not really depressed.
Yeah,
but you know how you have like this something that you're really looking forward to, like a big day in your life, and then when it's over, you have this let down. That's how I feel when Christmas is over.
Yeah.
So I love that it starts in November for me. I start planning, decorating. I do celebrate Thanksgiving, of course, but I'm still thinking about Christmas, and I'm starting to buy Christmas gifts and get in the spirit and listen to the music. It just makes me happy. And I love, this is going to make some of you guys mad. It's a little controversial what I'm going to say.
I hope Jim's not watching.
I love the time change. I love it when it gets dark at 4:30.
I like the fall back. I like the fall back. I don't like the spring forward. I've always fought. I've always fought. I wish we'd fall back and just stay.
I know. They talked about it, and then they kind of dropped the subject.
And nobody can explain daylight savings.
It used to make more sense because it was about saving money on your electric bills or something, right? It had to do with more daylight and the farmers and the, saving you money because I don't know.
I always thought it was
Heating
farmers. I was this or that.
Yeah. But I don't really understand it.
But the sun's going down and coming up when it wants to. It don't matter
right. It doesn't matter what we say it is. But I'm all for, the time change. Let's fall back and let's just leave it there, people. Let's not. But I really do like it when it starts to get dark early in the evening and all my family's at home and I got soup on the stove or something going in the crock pot. And it's just a nice night at home and it's cozy.
I like it when it starts getting darker because your evenings do seem longer, a lot longer. Because in the summer, I love summer. Summer's my favorite. I love summertime. And then fall's my next favorite. But I like the fall back and I don't mind it getting dark. I don't do well waking up in the dark. When it's really dark in the morning, I'm not a fan of that. But I don't get up till 8 o'clock. Who am I trying to fool?
It's not like you're getting up early, right?
Oh yeah, no. It's usually the sun's up. But no, I don't know. I don't really care. I just can't believe how fast. Time just goes by so fast. But they say when you get old, it does.
Yeah, I believe that. I think my days and my years go by faster than they used to.
Oh, gosh, I remember when I was a little girl, it seemed like time just crept, even the weekends. Of course, back in the day, back in the 80s, the 70s and 80s, when I was little, you had 3 channels.
Right.
And my dad was you had, on Sunday, you had wrestling. St. Louis, and then you had more wrestling, and then Lawrence Welk, and then I did look forward to Sunday night and the Magic Kingdom. Walt Disney's.
Oh, yeah.
Tinkerbell would come out and do her thing. We'd watch that. But yeah, my dad, there was one TV in the house. My dad controlled the remote control. So we were either on football, wrestling, or Tarzan. The old Ron Ely black and white.
Oh, funny.
Saturday mornings were fun, but yeah, boy, time would just creep by. Couldn't wait to get to school back on Monday. Yeah, but
now
not like
it's that
just
anymore.
gone.
I feel like time even goes fast for my kids.
I think time goes back for children,
I think
too.
the world is just different and it's just more fast paced.
I think so too.
For everyone.
And everybody's got a car and going, and and then just like I said, I can spend a whole entire day vegging out and watching movies. If I have popcorn, a Tombstone frozen pizza, and an all day, I can literally now, Jim.
Yeah.
No, can't do it. But I need that time to sit down and just not
let your mind relax.
Yeah, because
that's how I am when I'm at a sewing machine.
Really?
Like a sewing machine for me is like therapy, and it's just like I'm zoned in on that. I don't have to think about all the other things, and I'm busy, and my day is great.
Well, we're getting ready to get busy with the Children's Theater Christmas musical at the Nostalgia Theater, so that's going through my mind, and then
our performance. Let's tell them our performance dates. It will be December the 9th. I I believe it's the 9th and the 10th.
Is.
It's that weekend. It's a Saturday and then a Sunday evening show.
It's
and
cute. It's going to be really good. I'm going to add more music to it.
It's a super cute play, and it's full of very talented local children. And I say children because they are all different ages from about age 6 to 18.
Yeah,
we have a wide range of ages. They the older kids take on the bigger roles, and they are wonderful little mentors to the younger ones. And it's just such a good group of kids.
It is a good group of
and
kids.
It's so fun to help them.
And it's a lost group of kids because there's not a lot of schools that offer, like, Flora's lucky we have drama at Flora, but a lot of the schools don't have that. And did you notice this year we had kids from Flora, Clay City, Sisney,
homeschooled kids,
full armor kids. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
They're very good. They're very well behaved little children.
And this is like something they're passionate about. And a lot of times our community focuses on sports because there's a lot of kids that like sports, and I'm not knocking sports, but it's not for every kid. And this is a great way for those kids who want to be involved in something but not basketball or baseball. This is for them.
The whole purpose for Nostalgia Theater, basically.
Absolutely.
That was one of the main reasons we wanted it, was to have an outlet for children to come and be on stage and see if they like it and get that opportunity. And you know what else? While we're talking about events at Nostalgia Theater, let's tell them about the after parade party that we're having. So we are going to have a big party, a big costume party, because, you know, Stacey and I in our group, we love costumes, but it is going to be on the 28th of October following the Halloween parade in downtown Flora. We're having a big party, age 21 and over, at the theater. There will be drinks that can be purchased. That's why the age limit, but it is a costume party, and there are prizes. We do have prize money. Costume. So it's $100 prize money for the best male costume, $100 prize money for the best female costume, and then $100 prize for the best group or couple. Yep. So I'm looking forward to that. That would be a big bash. You know, because back in the day, you know, the Elks used to have, you know, and it was always a big thing. And then what else? The venue used to have things. So I really hope people come out. The theater is looking fantastic. It does. It looks, if you haven't, stop by sometime. Yeah, just stop by. I'm there. Cool. I work in there at my hair salon on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Stop in. My sister's there. We'll let you go through the whole place. It's looking really good. Yeah, it is. And the office looks good. Diane got up there. We finally got the lights done and fixed and everything. So good. I had Jim and Matt clean that out. And we're ready to roll. It's a beautiful building. It is beautiful. Okay, so this is our last Halloween ad. Yes. So I picked a Halloween ad. Okay. It's just cute. Okay. I just picked it. Okay, so it's basically they have their little trick or treat bags, and mom's got Baby Ruth and Butterfinger. Okay, full size candy bars there, lady. This lady must be rich. Yeah. She is, but you know, their costumes are cute, but I'm really digging her dress. Oh, I loved her dress too. Yeah, it's so classy. I want to look like her. Me too. She's so pretty. And then she got her perfect little earrings on. Everything's looking good. And her hair is like perfectly wavy. I don't even know how to do that. Yeah, finger waves. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Never liked doing them in school. Don't do them very often. Now there's easier ways to do it with curling irons and stuff. But anyway. But I just really like that ad because I thought we'd talk, since Trick or Treat Night's coming up. I thought we'd talk about, quiz time. Oh, okay. I love quizzes. Don't look at the answers, Beth. What is the number one trick or treat candy handed out? M&M's. Nope. Snickers. Nope. Tootsie Roll. Nope. I give up. Reese's Cups. Reese's Cups. Yes. Those Reese's Cups are the number one. You almost had it, but this was weird to me. So Reese's Cups, number one. Peanut M&M's is number two. Regular M&M's is number three. Now, I'm that person. Don't mess with my stuff. Why? It's the companies. This is what they choose to put into the when you buy a big bag that's like a multi candy bar bag to hand out. Yeah. Almost all of them have the peanut M&Ms, but they don't all have the regular M&Ms. And I know this because I recently did an event for work where I had to buy some of those big bags of assorted chocolate to give out as prizes. And I had so many bags of peanut M&Ms and hardly any bags of the regular M&Ms. I prefer They were like 4-to-1 in the mix of the peanut. But when all of the ladies that went through my line for these prizes,
that is what they wanted, is the peanut M&Ms. So the company
They're marketing.
is putting them in more peanut M&M bags into the multi-pack, but that is what people want.
Interesting. Number 4 is Tootsie Pops. Number 5 is one of my top 3, Twizzlers.
I love a Twizzler.
Hershey's milk chocolate. Number, what am I on? 1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, whatever. The next one, Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, my kids like those.
Oh yeah. Jim ended up taking Jack and Joanna yesterday, and they came back, and Sissy, she ate those sour worms. Oh, so gross. Ooh, another one of my favorite, candy corn.
I love candy corn. There's a big debate about that right now on Facebook. There's people that don't like it.
They should
They
not.
call it wax.
Wax? Those are wax lips you just suck the flavor out of.
I know.
Number 9 is Kit Kat, and number 10 is Starburst.
Snickers was not on there?
Nope.
That's weird to me.
Worst. I'm only going to go with one worst. What's the worst?
That is actually given out at Halloween, or the worst candy
in the history of the world?
Black licorice.
Nope. Circus peanuts.
Oh, those are
now
bad
those are disgusting.
Yeah, those are.
Those are disgusting. So what
black licorice is
I don't like black licorice because I love Twizzlers, but I don't like black licorice.
Can I tell you a story real quick about
Yeah.
black licorice? So years ago when I was in junior high, I was at Oil Belt Camp, and we did a relay, and you had to run across this big length of the room, and at the other end of the room were all these brown paper sacks, and you had to pick one, and whatever was in it, you had to eat it or drink all of it before you could run back to the other end of the building. And I might have even told this story before. And some of the bags were good. It was like applesauce or a little orange drink or something yummy. But every now and then there was like something bad, like a can of peas or something. You know?
Yeah.
And the one I got was a black licorice, it wasn't just one piece. It was like 6 big strands.
Oh my God! And you
of
had
black
to eat
licorice,
it?
and I had a whole team of people waiting on me. And so you know what I did?
What?
I didn't cheat. I swallowed it all. I ate it all. And then I ran back as fast as I could to the other team, slapped the hand, and then this was the building that's open to the outside. And I just kept going, and I ran into the tree line and threw it all up.
Oh, I bet it was just as bad coming up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was it obviously left an impression on me because here I am, like how many years later, 30-some years later?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you the story.
Yeah. No, not cool.
Not a cool game, Oil Belt.
Not a cool game. Well, I my top 3, I can't pick. When I'm at the movies, Milk Duds. Gotta have my duds. When I'm driving, Twizzlers. Gotta have
Twizzlers
that.
are great in the car.
Twizzlers are
keep
great.
you awake.
The other one, Tootsie Rolls, the big fat Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, I like those too. But my number 1 would be Raisinets.
That's Jim. Jim likes Raisinets. And he likes
Raisinets.
Sugar Daddies.
Yeah, I like those too.
And then number 4, Banana Laffy of the Taffy.
Oh, but it has to be Banana Laffy Taffy.
It has to be Banana Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, that's good.
Those are my top 4. Love it. It's the greatest thing ever. Oh, we got to take a commercial break.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
That's what happens when you talk about candy.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Jimmy ordered lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh, yeah. Give me all your guns, too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We have a super fun episode planned. Do I say that every week?
I think you do because we love them all.
I truly mean it when I say it. But no, this one's fun because
this one's interesting.
This is all about the Salem witch trials. So no, it's not a local history story, but
It
sometimes
is not.
we veer off and we just talk about regular history. And this is one that I think people find fascinating.
I find it fascinating, and I love history of all kinds. And one reason why I wanted to do this was because Salem, Massachusetts is on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I want to go to Salem, Massachusetts. Do I know that it's completely commercialized? Yes. Do I care? No. I want to go to that. And like I said, you can like visit their graves and everything. It was really, you talk about, a gossip going wrong.
Yeah.
I think, and then there was some history. There was so many weird things, but I found so many new interesting facts. You want me to start?
You start because I'm going to finish it.
I think I've got the start, you've got the finish.
I've got the end, you've got the beginning.
Aw. I'm the front part of the donkey.
Yep, and I'll be the back end. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so it all starts in the Salem village of Massachusetts. 1691.
Okay.
What kind of music do we need to be playing in the background?
Ooh.
Okay, so in 1691, there was an Indian slave girl, and her name was Tituba. That's how Tituba. And she actually was the slave servant to Reverend Samuel Parris. Okay. Well, she was an Indian girl, and her, like I said, her name was Tituba. So there were young girls in town, and she told their fortunes. Okay. So these young girls come in and they want to tell their fortunes. Probably really creepy. And so this Indian girl's telling them their fortunes. Well, they all kind of became ill at that time. So the girls started the rumor that the Indian slave girl was a witch and that she put a spell on them.
I put a spell on you.
I put a spell on you. Now you're mine. Which, how many times have you watched Hocus Pocus so far?
This year, only once.
4 times. Just saying. Probably going to watch it again
And
today.
have you watched Halloween Town yet?
No!
You are not allowed to talk about Hocus Pocus again until you've watched Halloween Town.
Well,
because Halloween Town is superior to Hocus Pocus. There, I said it. I said it.
I will be the judge of that when I get home today. And anyway, so what happened was, so these girls got sick, and then they started this firestorm with this Indian slave girl. What I found really interesting is, well, I guess I said, is that most of the accusers, and it didn't even just start with these young girls that did this. Other girls started jumping. Most of the accusers, the ringleaders, basically, of the witch trials, the accusers were young girls between the ages of 12 and like 20. They were all young. And so then it was like, they got to the point where it's like, oh, I don't like this person, so I'm going to accuse them of being a witch. So like I said, that gossiping just started. So the actual trial started in 1692. Because girls claim to be possessed by the devil. Okay. Well, you're talking the 17th century, right? Well, so I don't want to sound, but there are a lot of religious crazy people now. But back then it was really to the max. So the story became synonymous.
And they didn't have explanations for things, so they would go to the supernatural.
Yeah, everything
Must
went
be
to
a
the
witch.
supernatural. So the story became synonymous with paranoia and injustice, fueled by xenophobia. And xenophobia is basically dislike or prejudice. And of course, the religious extremists didn't help anything. And there was just like, can you imagine? I can't even picture living in the 17th century.
No. I would thank you, God, that I live now and not then. Because
because what I don't I mean, the whole thing about it is I don't understand. Well, I don't know. It's just like I said, they did get sick, and I know you're going to touch on that, what the true meaning of everything was. So, like, these girls get sick. They accuse this girl. They take her. She goes to jail. You know, and the jails back then.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
And the thing about jails is I don't believe that those girls should have been in the jail, but if you truly did do a crime, like you murdered somebody or something, I believe that you should be in a jail like that. You shouldn't.
Absolutely.
Our prisons today are too nice.
Our prisons are
That's
these are
my own personal beliefs. But anyway.
my personal. I have strong personal beliefs. If
we made prisons really, really bad, not so many
wouldn't want to go.
would,
Yeah. And I've got some strong opinions on the Department of Corrections too, and I want them to be. Especially when it comes to children, if you
hurt a child,
if you kill children or sex trafficking, off with your head. But anyway, but yeah, so I found that interesting. So now these girls, this all starts happening. So that's when everything starts. The trials actually start in 1692. Well, what was crazy? Another thing that I found crazy is I've got some facts about it. The tests that they put.
Yeah, let's talk about those.
You couldn't pass the test.
There was no way to win.
You're not passing the test. There was no way to win. One of the tests that I had found. So, I get accused of being a witch. You're a witch, which thank God people don't do that today. And so what they would do is they would try to drown them. Okay, so one of the tests that they would do is they would tie large pebbles onto the girls. They would throw them into the nearest lake, and they would drown them. By chance, if you drowned, you were not a witch.
But too late, you're dead.
But you're dead.
They proved your innocence, but now you're dead.
Yeah. If you by chance survived,
then
let's say your rope came undone, and you came up out of the water, then you were a witch and you were hung. It's almost...
And it's like, did the people doing this not have enough common sense to say, this doesn't make sense, how does this prove anything? Let's think of a different test, like...
Yeah, I don't know, but let's just throw... I got a picture of a witch.
Okay.
So this is what we think of
when we think of a witch. That's, of course, from The Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch of the West. Yes.
You know, that's what we think of. Now, we'll show you a picture of, we got lots of pictures of, like, this is who they're accusing of being a witch.
This is just a young girl who probably had an enemy at school and hated her guts because she looked at her boyfriend wrong or something. And she's like, oh, I'm going to accuse you of being a witch.
Yeah, so these are just innocent people, you know. And I think I have another picture. We got more pictures. Yeah, so this is who they're accusing of being witches. Yeah, I can't even fathom it. You could show one more picture and we'll show some more afterwards. Yeah. So I like this picture too because they're young. The youngest child they hung was a 4-year-old girl. 4-year-old little girl named Dorothy Good was hung for witchcraft.
Oh my, how sad.
It is sad. Now, who did she make mad? You know?
I'm going to talk about that. She probably didn't make anybody mad, but she had some signs of being a witch, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but you go ahead with what you have to say.
I thought that was just, you know. The other thing is there is a common thought of things that nobody was burned at the stake. They didn't burn witches at the stake.
Yeah, a lot of times when we hear about the Salem witch trials, we think they're burned at the stake. That didn't actually happen.
That didn't happen.
No.
Yeah. And the most accusers were children, and the youngest one was 4 years old. But yeah, they hung them. There was one, and not only women were accused of witchcraft, but there were several men. Altogether, I think that there were 19 that were actually murdered. 5 were men that were hung, but one man, they pressed him to death.
Oh, I don't have that in my notes.
The only person in U.S. history to ever be pressed to death, and his name was Giles Corey.
That's so sad.
Yeah, but it's like the only. Can you even? I didn't even.
Oh, I guess in my notes, one was crushed by stone, so that would be him. So 19 people were hanged.
Yeah.
One was crushed. That would be him, and then 4 died in prison.
And 4 died in prison. Here's another weird fact. Do I got time? Let's see. Yes, I got time to go into this too. this is on a funny note, okay?
I'm interested. I didn't know there was any funny
There's
notes.
a funny note on this. 2 dogs.
Oh, really?
2 dogs were...
Oh, well, that is going to further prove my point when I get to it.
2 dogs were accused of witchcraft and were murdered. The dogs. Now, I've known some crazy dogs in my time.
Yeah.
I've owned 1 or 2, but I don't think,
Yeah, I've known a couple crazy dogs too, but I never thought to say, that dog is a witch.
That dog's got to be there's got to be a witch there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that when I read that there were 2 dogs.
Yeah.
2 dogs were executed. Yeah. And then after we talk a little bit about more in depth of why and how and stuff, then I'll go back and talk about how it ended and how some people were,
okay.
how it finally came to pass and be. But what exactly a dog?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know. The dog obviously was behaving weirdly.
Right.
Or maybe the dog was close to one of the girls. And they were like, if you are a witch, maybe this dog right here is too. Might as well kill it just to be on the safe side. I don't know. I don't think any of them were thinking clearly.
Another thing that I came across in my research is they used to use the term devil's mark, birthmarks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's actually, I might have sent a picture. I don't know if I got that one to save, where they were examining a girl and looking at her back and pointing out the tiniest little freckle on her back and like, that is the mark of a witch. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think that we all, regardless of our skin, even people with darker skin tones, we all have birthmarks, beauty marks, freckles somewhere. Yeah. And I am not a super freckly person. I'm not, but I do. I don't really have any moles, but I do have a few freckles. And I read this article one day about how every woman has a freckle on her. I think it was her right, it was her left hand, right where her bracelet goes. So like, here's mine, and after I learned that, I started looking at all my friends, and almost every one of us has a freckle right there. Do you have one?
Yeah. Right
yeah.
there.
So women out
What's
there.
That?
I don't know. We're probably all witches. We just don't know it. So all the women, look at your left wrist, right at the top of your left wrist, about where your bracelet would be, and check to see if you have a freckle.
I do. I have one right there.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh yeah, I would be in trouble because I have like 2 birthmarks. Jim would be in trouble. He's got a birthmark. My almost everybody has a birthmark, and they called them the devil's mark.
Yeah.
You were cursed.
But I wonder if the people that were inspecting to see if you had the devil's mark were like, I'm going to be the inspector so that no one inspects me.
Ooh, yeah.
Knowing that they also had a birthmark, but keeping it, they had so many layers of clothes, like nobody would see it.
Well, we're going to come right back with more of the Salem witch trials after a commercial break.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be.
Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow, Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
And welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we're talking about the Salem witch trials.
Yes. We were talking about birthmarks made you a witch. If you didn't drown, you're a witch.
Yes.
So many different things. But then it was a firestorm. So then it got out of hand because so people are being killed. People are being put in horrendous prisons just for accusations. Over 200 people were accused because everybody was like, oh, I don't like you. I want 4 eggs. You gave me 3. You're a witch. Everybody started accusing everybody, and over 200 people were in jails, and they were horrendous, terrible things. And then so they were like, you know what? If you'll just admit it, if you'll just admit that you're a witch, then the punishment won't be so bad. So people and family members were actually saying, you know what, just... They've accused you. Just say you're a witch and maybe it won't be so bad. I'm not so sure I wouldn't have rather been executed because then these people are like, oh, you're a witch? Okay, so now we got to put you away in a dark cave in a prison for the rest of your life. It was awful.
Yeah, it was awful.
So when people got ill.
Yes.
So I think the timing must have been just right.
It was. So that's what I'm going to talk about is the timing was just right. So a couple of the very first girls to exhibit any signs of witchcraft were Betty Paris and Abigail Williams. And they started with severe convulsions and other strange symptoms, okay? The village doctor was named William Griggs, and he couldn't explain it, so he just diagnosed them as bewitched. I mean, now where did he get his medical degree?
Okay, was he a dentist? Was he the barber?
Who knows?
Surgeon?
Okay, so accusations started flying. This is all around the same time that the Titanda, whatever her name was. Tituba. Okay, so the town quickly decided that they were going to find all of the witches and kill them. That was the best way to get rid of this problem. So we know what Stacey told us, but speed up a little bit to 1976, okay? Dr. Linda Caporal of the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, she found some evidence that maybe meant something else. So she did some research and decided that the illness and the illnesses were brief and they were intense. She decided, hey, you know what? This has a medical thing here. They were not bewitched. It was ergotism. Okay, that is a disease commonly contracted from rye, which is what they were eating.
Yes.
Okay. Other historians jumped on board. This was all research, and like everyone was like had this big aha moment. Aha! It was ergotism. So this is basically rotted rye, and they ate it. So most of the events in the Salem witch trial can be explained by ergotism. There's a few that can't, but those that can't fit the description of ergotism is attributed to groupthink, or they're following what everyone is saying, and they're just the power of suggestion.
I thought maybe for like epileptic seizures with all the shaking and the foaming
it
at
could
the
be
mouth.
Similar to that. So it fits the bill of rye-induced ergotism. So ergotism forms in rye after a severe winter and then a damp spring. Conditions that all of the historians claim were present in 1691, the year, the winter prior. And therefore, it affected that the rye that was harvested for consumption in 1692 was rotten rye. So after the rye plant contracts ergot, this is the fungus that grows and replaces shoots on the grain with sclerotia. So ergot sclerotia are purple-black growths that contain lysergic acid and ergotamine. Okay, so since there wasn't a lot of medical knowledge back then, the presence of darker shoots on rye was probably thought to be just it got too much sun this one got too much sun. So it was eaten anyway, despite it being poisonous. They didn't know any better.
Wow.
And the thing about the poison was it didn't really affect everyone that ate it. It depended on your immune system and whether it was fully developed.
That makes sense.
So guess who didn't have fully developed immune systems? All of these young girls that were fighting this. So, and apparently a couple of dogs. So once contracted from rye bread ergotism, it was also called St. Anthony's fire, which I thought was interesting, causes severe convulsions, muscle spasms, delusions, the sensation of crawling under the skin, and in extreme cases, gangrene of the extremities.
Holy Moses!
Severe hallucinations can be a symptom, as lysergic acid is the substance from which the drug LSD is synthesized. Okay?
So, wait a minute. So, they weren't witches, they were just stoned?
Uh-huh. Yes, they were.
Oh, my God.
And they were having delusions, and that's why even some of them, said, yeah, I'm a witch. I think I am a witch.
Yeah.
So, these symptoms were exactly the same as those shown by the accused in Salem. Mostly young girls whose immune systems had not fully developed, leaving them susceptible to diseases such as ergotism. The village doctor, being religious, and so the theory goes, unaware of ergotism as a disease, attributed the strange symptoms to a known evil, witchcraft. He claimed that the girls had fallen victim to the evils of witchcraft, and the girls just went along with it for the most part. The rest of the townsfolk fell victim to suggestibility, and thus the trials commenced, with accusations of witchcraft being targeted at the outcasts of society by those who were afflicted. And then it says, according to this theory, the abrupt end of the witch trials in May of 1693, that's it. It pretty much started at a certain point and it ended at a certain point. That again lends itself to like a medical reason, and not really that it was just there was actually witches, because that wouldn't have made sense. But but the abrupt end of the witch trials in May 1693, it ended quite simply because Salem ran out of ergot contaminated grain. So the bad grain was gone. They'd eaten all the bad rye. Then boom. All of these symptoms are over. No one else is having delusions. Yeah. No one's having convulsions. No one is accusing each other of being witches. All the young girls have calmed down. They're not saying all these outrageous things and making outrageous claims about the other girls.
That is,
yeah.
Can you imagine?
No. So there's debate over whether or not this theory is accepted, but most researchers and even social psychologists insist that it is true, but there are a few that say that a little bit of that too was political unrest in the area, and that maybe it doesn't fit some of the social things that happened. But the social things are explained away by it was just you were being a follower. Everyone jumped on board and they were all throwing stones and saying outrageous things. But there was also a smallpox outbreak near that same time, and the population was expanding rapidly. So there's also a theory that because they were getting so big that Reverend Paris had ulterior motives, and he had a lot of stress, and it's kind of like almost like population control.
Yeah, it just snowballed. Yeah, it just completely snowballed, didn't it?
But anyway, according to some people, the real evil was on the supper table.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, refrigeration systems weren't around. So, gosh, that's kind of really, it's really scary that how they lived back then. I wonder.
I don't think refrigeration would have saved the rye. I think it rotted in the field. Yeah. They had a severe winter.
They have to eat it.
And then they had a damp spring, and that was their food source. I mean, you had what you had. You couldn't go to Walmart and buy something different. So the rye looked a little weird, and they just thought, well, it must have got too much sun at a certain point, or too damp, or whatever. But not equating that to poison.
But it does make sense, though, that at that time, then you had that time period where everything was going to rye, and then that's gone. That food's gone, and oh my goodness sakes alive.
So I didn't know this theory until I started doing research for this show. And this was written, I don't have my source here because a lot of this is copy and pasted, but it was written, I think, by the Smithsonian. It might have been on there where I got a lot of my information, but it was a credible source. If you Google it, it'll come up as one of the articles. And it was fascinating to me that this whole theory explains it all so well. Mm-hmm. I didn't know about ergotism.
I'd never heard of it before till you just mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you wonder if they had all these witch trials around the world. I mean, witches have been around since, people have been, your black magic and all this stuff. I mean, one of my favorite TV shows is Outlander. Remember when the Sussinet got accused of being a witch?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because a little boy got sick. He'd eaten a poisonous vine. Mm-hmm. The reverend in town was like, oh, he's the devil, and just let him die, and she healed him. Mm-hmm. Because she knew about
modern medicine. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it's really sad. It's a super sad story. And I don't know if I think that's why I don't have Salem on my bucket list. To me, it's heartbreaking.
It is a heartbreaking story, but oh my gosh. I mean, because that's what you think about,
Yeah.
And it's not only that, but you can stay at the Lizzie Borden bed and breakfast.
Oh, right. Yeah, you told us about that. Yeah, and that's in Salem?
Yeah, it's right around the area.
Okay.
So you're telling me that whenever you and I take off on our trip, whenever we go to Vermont and Maine or wherever we're going, you're not, you're going to Trixie down there to Salem. It can't be that far.
I don't know.
They're just little bitty states.
I guess if you drag me along, I'll go. But it makes me sad.
It is sad. But
yeah.
Geez, but the thing about that is like it's almost like that across the entire country.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's sad stories anywhere you go. And that's the thing about us doing history. Like, you pull up all this stuff, and, like, almost everything we research leads to some heartbreaking story.
It really does, yeah.
Because there were so many unexplained deaths and unexplained illnesses, and people, there was just a lot of ignorance about things. And I don't mean that in a bad or derogatory way, but they just didn't know. They didn't know better. Yeah. And it led to some really sad outcomes.
Yeah.
Even here in Clay County, we didn't have witch trials or anything, but there were still illnesses and things that they didn't know how to treat, and a lot of young people died, and it's just sad.
It is sad. We have a couple. I don't know how many more pictures we have, Ty. Let's throw up some more of our pictures here. Yeah.
Aww.
Look at him. That guy back there's got some crazy.
Yeah, that guy in the back, he's been eating a lot of rye, okay? He's got some LSD.
He's got some LSD.
Going through his veins.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this one, I don't know. It's just like, oh, there she is. This one reminds me of the one from the Outlander movie. But yeah, this poor person, and you have no way of winning this.
Yeah.
Zero.
They had no chance. And see, this one here, this girl's on the floor, probably having a convulsion from eating bad rye. Mm-hmm. And, just how horrible for her to be feeling so sick and then for everyone to be staring at her. I don't know. If I was that sick, I would want to be alone in my bathroom, probably.
Right, exactly.
Or in a hospital.
Yeah,
I wouldn't need
which
everyone.
Is something they probably didn't have.
I wouldn't want everyone staring at me and accusing me of bad things.
It makes you. We'll talk about.
And the parents of these girls, what were they thinking?
I don't know. Do we have any more pictures, or is that it? Yeah. There's the last one. This one's a color picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everybody, it looks like there's a dad begging for mercy, and I don't know. And of course, this is our pilgrims. This is, and they didn't know any better.
You got convulsions over there on the left front corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the judges just look evil.
Yeah, that's the 16, like I said, it's the 1600s, and they just don't know any better. And it makes you wonder, whenever we came here, because like I said, these are the pilgrims, America was discovered, it makes you wonder what the American Indians were thinking. What?
The American Indians were going around saying, don't eat the black rye. That's what they were saying. They had wisdom.
Yeah, the Indians were like, okay, these crazy white people.
I think they ate the rye that was black.
Yeah, it's like,
Don't do that.
Don't do that. We're going to come right back with more of the Salem Witch Trials after a commercial break.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Roll King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Roll King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we are finishing up a little bit of history on the Salem witch trials, the Massachusetts witch trials. Not local history, but just fun history. So you explained in the 70s, somebody figured out this is what's happening.
76.
Okay. 76. Back then, they just all filtered out. But another reason why a lot of people were not accused anymore was the governor. The governor's name was Sir William Phipps. He was the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Okay. Well, you're not untouchable either, right, Governor? Governor. His wife was accused of being a witch.
Oh. And so then he put an end to it.
So he's like, wait, my wife is not a witch. So that's when the actual trial stopped. Was whenever his wife was accused of being a witch.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's
interesting.
It's too bad that she didn't get accused
in the beginning. She might have saved a few other lives there.
Yeah. I find it interesting.
No kidding.
Excuse me. By 1711, the state had exonerated the accused and publicly apologized.
By 1711.
So what we're talking. Okay, when was
it was 1692.
They ended in 93. 91, 92, 93 was it all took place. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 years later. They're like, but I mean, it's a far cry. But it probably let a lot of other people maybe out of. Maybe they let some of the people. It's once the people who were accused, and then they got sick. Good Lord. You get a little dysentery one day, and you're accused of being
no kidding. Like, my heart just breaks for the parents whose daughters were taken from them. Because I bet they tried to stand up for their daughter. I mean, they would know, like, hey, she's not really a witch.
Yeah. It's
especially
crazy.
That little 4-year-old. That's sad.
I can't even hardly handle that. And then, this is an interesting thought. In 2002... the Massachusetts state legislature officially cleared the names of the last accused witches. So then once time just continued going on, finally they're like, okay, no, we are literally going to. Because it makes you wonder, because some of the witches, a.k.a. normal people, the accused that were murdered, their graves are still there in Salem. You can visit the site where they hung them is still there, and you can visit the site and where they're all, and they actually have grave markers, because you would think if they thought this person, I'm shocked that they did not, after they executed them, that they did not actually burn them to get rid of the bodies.
But they did bury them and they marked the grave.
They did bury them and they marked the grave. Which I find that kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would think they would never mark the grave and want to forget it.
That's what I would think so, too. But
maybe it wasn't up to the, maybe it was up to the parents whether or not the grave was marked, and they were all like, yeah, we're going to mark it. She wasn't really a witch.
Yeah. And they've got, it's all documented. I didn't write down all but it tells every every woman and man that was accused. They're documented human beings. I mean, they're not just made up names. They were real people.
Yeah, it's not a legend.
No,
This
it's not a legend.
True
This
fact,
is true
history.
fact. Yeah. I just think you'd live in fear every single day of your life.
I would be like, I'm gonna move on over to Jamestown. There seems to not be any issues going.
I wonder what's happening in Boston.
Yeah, I might try Boston. I think our family's gonna travel.
I was wondering, fun weird fact for me is because like Salem, there are a lot of Salem towns called Salem. And we did, did we do an episode one time on like how towns got their names?
No.
That might be a fun episode to do because it's funny because another trivia question. Okay. What is the most common city or town name in the United States? What name is more than any of them? Like, there's Salem, Massachusetts, Salem, Illinois.
Honestly, Salem would have been one of my picks.
It's up there. It's in the top 5.
Okay.
Do 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 do.
I don't know. You'll have to tell me. I can't think.
Franklin.
Franklin. After Benjamin.
Apparently, Franklin is number. Another one. The top. I don't remember like 5 of the top. Salem's in the top 5. I know Franklin was number 1 because I was like, no way. Because I said Salem. I said Salem. Salem has to be the number 1.
There's Salems everywhere.
There's Salem everywhere. Greenville. There are a ton of Greenvilles. Greenville was in the top 5, but Franklin was number 1. I couldn't believe it. Because I don't even think I've ever even heard of a Franklin.
Franklin, Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's right outside Nashville.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, so that is our last...
Yeah.
Our last Halloween episode.
Woo! The month went by so fast. I mean...
Yeah, so trick-or-treat night's on what night? The 31st?
Yes.
I think it is. So now, will you have your lights on and will you hand out candy?
I don't know. I don't usually do that because I'm usually either taking my kids to your house to help you at your trick-or-treat night, or my mom usually has a party, but she's changed the night of that. So it's not the same night as trick-or-treat this year, which opens up my trick-or-treat night. So do I want, and none of my kids will be home.
Right.
So do I want to turn the light on and spend the evening with other people's children?
No.
I'm kind of thinking I might not.
Are they all going to be at my house?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, sweet. We blow it out. We love.
Yeah,
my husband.
Stacey has a awesome display for trick or treat night. Jim does sound, so he has sound equipment and he has a microphone. And he's like, whoa, into the mic, and it's just like, and these little kids are just so scared to even walk up to Stacey to get candy, and it's always like she has a lot of helpers there, so there's people walking around that are, they don't touch the kids. Or anything,
we just dress up,
but they just dress up and they're like loitering, scary people around.
It is kind of funny because it all started back when Connor was reached the age where he could not trick or treat anymore. There is an age limit. We don't care. Come by. We don't care. And he got off the bus and he was like, Dad, trick or treat. And this was it was after school. And Jim gets off work at 4. Trick or treat starts at 6. I've told you my husband is a wood hoarder. He has wood everywhere, right? Connor comes home, gets off the bus about 4 o'clock, 3:45, whatever. He comes home, he's like, Dad, I can't trick or treat this year, but I want to scare kids. So Jim went out and literally within 2 hours built a full-size coffin. I'm not lying, people.
That's
and
hilarious.
Then Connor dressed up and he sat in the coffin with the candy and he would jump out. That's how it all started.
Okay.
My Connor is now 29 years old. And he was probably 13 when that happened?
I don't remember.
So we've been doing that, and every year it gets bigger and bigger. It used to be just Jim and I would dress up and that type of thing. But then kids got bigger, like, hey, can we come hang out? Now there's adults. We dress up.
Her whole friend group shows up in costume, and they pick a different theme each year. This year it might be a surprise. We won't announce it yet.
We don't mention it.
But it is going to be
it is fun, and it just grows, and the kids love it. The kids that come love it. They're so funny. I got time to tell you this story. Okay, not gonna lie. Jim, and there's music blaring. Our neighbors used to call and complain. One did. And she lived on a different street. But anyway, but the cops were like, it's Jim and Stacey. They will start at 6. We shut down at 7:59, so we don't go any later.
Yep.
He's like, it's 2 hours out of the year, lady, deal with it. She calls every year. But anyway, so there's this one time, and Jim was dressed, I don't know, he was terrifying, right? Loud music's playing. He's got this big, I don't know what he was. He was scary. This little boy comes up, and he is probably the size... I bet he's 5, and he's in the Black Spider-Man came out. That movie came out. So I'm there, and I'm handing out candy, and Jim's doing his thing. He's got a mic on. Jim wears a cordless mic. This little boy comes zooming up our thing, and he stands there. He looks right in front of Jim, and Jim's like, "Little boy, did you come here to get my candy?"
What did he say?
And that little boy did, because he was all in black. He was like, he just started hitting him. Pow, pow, pow.
Oh, really?
And Jim was like, little boy, okay, little boy, and I'm like, no help at all, because I'm like, he's kicking Jim. He's like
my.
This. And literally Jim's like, okay, little
Was there
fella.
a parent around?
We could find it. And Jim was like, and then finally he's like, hey, kid, and I'm like, no help at all. I'm dying laughing. And so Jim's got this mic on, and now he's like, okay, hey, okay, little fella, stop. Say, little fella, stop. And then finally Jim said, could the parents of Black Spidey please come get your kid?
Yeah.
He just was not afraid of Jim, and he just fought.
Oh, my
we laugh
gosh.
about that to this day.
Oh, that's
so
hilarious.
then little Black Spidey, and then he gets done, and Jim's like, he was like, you were no help. I'm like, I can't help it. That was hysterical. So then Black Spidey takes off, and he heads down the road.
Oh,
I'm like,
funny.
whoo, that was exciting. I'm not done with my story. So I'm not done. So anyway, long story short, the next thing you know, you hear, here come Black Spidey up and start punching Jim again. And Jim was like, oh, great, Demon Spidey's back.
Oh, my gosh.
It's
That's
the greatest
hysterical.
story. Oh, it's
well,
the
it
greatest.
took years before my kids were even brave enough to walk up there. And they know it's Jim and Stacey. They know Jim has a sound system. They know the people in the masks, and they still... It took years before they were brave enough.
Oh, yeah, adults don't even come out.
I mean, they would sit in the car and cry.
Oh, yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. Okay, here we go. Ralph Waldo.
Oh, Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Waldo Emerson. Each moment of the year has its own beauty. A picture which was never before and shall never be seen again.
Yeah, that's a smart
That's a good one.
I believe that.
Absolutely.
Yep. Every day is something new and different, and each season is...
Yep.
I'm so glad we have all 4 seasons here, and
I
just
love
feel
the
like,
seasons.
you know, although we have our favorites, it's cool to experience all of it.
Yeah,
so.
and if this episode airs, which I believe it will air before Halloween,
Or
come
on
on down to
Halloween.
416 Avenue if you dare.
If you dare.
That was a great episode.
Yeah, that was super fun. So thank you for joining us. As always, we're on channel 100 on Wabash Catch TV, but we're also on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Like and follow us on Facebook, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Have a great day.